So hello from Vancouver International Airport. Today Monique and I are off on an adventure that's going to take us to Europe and then to Norway.
And then to Cambodia.
Yeah, and so it's a really interesting trip. So packing's been a nightmare, but the first leg is from Kelowna, then to Vancouver, where we are now, through to Frankfurt, then to Oslo, and then we're catching on Lufthansa, and then we're catching Scandinavian Airlines through to the Arctic Circle to the city of Tromsø, where we're going to chase. What are we chasing again?
We're chasing the Northern Lights.
Okay, sounds like fun. So we're really excited. The airport is just crazy. The check-in has been completed. Lufthansa's check-in was amazing. Thank heavens for Star Alliance Gold. That really helps. We're going to plough through security. That should be a nightmare. But then into the lounge. I'll buy you breakfast.
Oh, lovely. And a mimosa.
And a mimosa. Sounds good.
We'll
Come
see
with
you
us.
soon.
Come with us. This should be an amazing journey. Well, it never takes Monique long to make new friends. Vancouver Airport has a great initiative where passengers can get an animal cuddle as part of their journey. They also often have musicians performing, which provides a relaxing atmosphere. Now, I see that our flight's been delayed by 25 minutes, which actually is great. I wanted to visit the observation viewing area, and it's located at the domestic side of the terminal, pre-security check. And if you're in Vancouver, it has great views, although it is quite a walk. Now, the security was really busy, but thankfully we had express security access due to Star Alliance Gold. And we got through, and it made such a difference. Now, Lufthansa uses the Air Canada Maple Leaf Lounge in Vancouver, and Monique was desperate for a mimosa, and I wanted my last Caesar for a while. Now, the lounge is okay. It does have a great bar, good views of the apron. The food selection is average, but the showers and toilets are good. Lots of places to charge your phone, and it has good Wi-Fi. Did I mention that they make amazing Caesars? If you haven't had a Caesar, you haven't lived. Think of a Bloody Mary, but rather than tomato juice, it's thank you very much. Clamato juice, and obviously with vodka, beautifully spiced with amazing salt rim on the glass. It's uniquely Canadian. All over the country, the garnishes are slightly different and include anything from prawns to bacon to beans. It's really half a meal and a drink. It has a wonderful view onto the apron, as I said. I see Air New Zealand there. It wasn't long. We're going to have to start now making our way to the gate for our flight through to Frankfurt. Our first view of our aircraft. Now, there's been an aircraft type change. It was originally scheduled for an A350, but as you can clearly see, it's a 787-9. Registration Delta Alpha Bravo Papa Bravo. It's 4 years old, and it won't be long before we start to board. Beautiful views of the mountains from Vancouver Airport. But I'm now very much ready to start our journey through to the Arctic Circle.
I call you right back, yeah? Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Baggage.
Good. Thank you very much. Where are you going, Mrs. Wilson?
Frankfurt, then to Oslo, then to Tromsø.
As we passed the premium economy cabin, I reflected on the fact that my bid for a upgrade to to premium economy was unsuccessful. Lufthansa, like a lot of airlines, enables passengers to place a bid. In other words, participate in an auction up to 72 hours prior to the flight to see if you can secure an upgrade. Clearly my offer was not enough and we were unsuccessful. The premium economy seats look very nice. They're the new product, and I noted it had a separate cabin, which wasn't the case on a flight we took a few months ago. And I found it really detracted from the quality of the offering. Now, when we get to our economy seat, you'll note that I've reclined it to give you an indication of the 6-inch recline. The seat are nice. They're dark blue, 31 inches of pitch. A really good size Stefan Rave in-flight entertainment screen, which has a USB port, good for recharging phones. It also has a Bluetooth audio option. The entertainment offering was superb, with over 300 movie channels to choose from, multiple language options, good television series on offer, and great audio selection. This is where Lufthansa has done really well. A relatively quick taxi on a surprisingly mild December afternoon in Vancouver. Runway 8 right, call sign Lufthansa 493, flight time to Frankfurt 9 hours and 10 minutes. Our flight today takes us north of the Hudson Bay, over Greenland, Iceland and Scotland, before descending into Frankfurt. Quickly after takeoff, lunch was served, very pleasant. Chicken, washed down with a good German beer. Had a lot of fun using the flight navigation flight map function. It was very good indeed. Gave airspeed, course, geographical location, time flown, time to destination. Everything was at your fingertips. And before I knew it, with one additional movie, breakfast was being served prior to our descent into Frankfurt. Our arrival in Frankfurt was exactly on time. The crew had made up time. Actually, the captain was very good on boarding. He apologized for the delay and did well to get us back on schedule. And before we knew it, we were landing in a very dark morning in Frankfurt after what was a very pleasant flight. Great shot of the flaps, but then the spoilers being deployed to spoil that airlift, and we come to a nice landing and taxi into Frankfurt. On our arrival in Frankfurt, we needed to transit to another terminal to catch our next flight to Oslo, where we would finally clear customs. What was great was that I knew we would have to take a bus airside. You gotta love the 747. I still think it's the best aircraft ever built. I would love to fly Lufthansa first class on their 747. Lufthansa isn't the only airline that still flies the 747-400, but is definitely the dominant carrier. Let me know if you've ever flown Lufthansa first class on their 747. I'd love to hear from you. As you can imagine, Lufthansa has many lounges at Frankfurt Airport. Separate first class lounge and of course business class lounge, but they also have Lufthansa Senator lounges, which are reserved for elite Senator members of the Lufthansa Miles and More program and Star Alliance Gold members. It's somewhat upgraded compared to the business class lounge. They generally have a wider selection of hot food plus showers. It's a great food offering and it had outstanding views. Talking about lovely views, lovely to watch the arrival of the A321-100 via tug, I guess from engineering, which was going to take us to Oslo this afternoon. Fun to watch one of the ground staff marshal the tug driver to a stop
Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it.
The crew was all ready and waiting to get on.
Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it.
Nice to see the Austrian Airlines A320 taxi into the gate next to us. Watch out for our review on Austrian Airlines in business class on their 777 through to Bangkok. Before we knew it, it was time to board our A321. It was a long taxi this afternoon and quite a spectacular departure. First bit of sun we've seen since arriving in Frankfurt. As we fly to Oslo, let me now reflect on the economy experience on Lufthansa. I'm doing a separate video on the SAS flight between Oslo and Tromsø, so look out for that, and please watch out for our amazing video on Tromsø and the chase for the Northern Lights. You'll love it. We often fly premium economy and sometimes business class, but quite regularly in economy class. It's just a function of affordability. We found Lufthansa to be a very good product. I particularly liked the in-flight entertainment, the aircraft were all modern, and the cabin crew were quite friendly. I quite like the fact that we were served hot towels in economy class after our meal coming into Frankfurt. I've got to say, what made the trip so enjoyable was the privileges that you get from being a loyal member of an alliance. It doesn't matter which alliance you join, but it does make a difference if you're able to access priority check-in, express security lines, and world-class lounges, and of course, priority boarding. Would I fly them again? Without hesitation. They're a good option on the way to Europe, certainly out of the South Pacific with their partners Air New Zealand. Welcome to a wintry Oslo. What a great end to a flight, being able to use the hard stand and get a great final view of our A321. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, it really helps build the channel.